Hey everyone, I wanted to go over some missed questions from the quiz. I noticed a lot of people miss these types of questions, and I just want to make sure we understand what's going on um, because what we learned last week is going to build on what we're learning this week, just to clarify. Um, so I've just got a few examples. They're not exactly the same, but they're very, very similar to help you out. So this question says, what other information do you need in order to prove the triangles are congruent using angle, angle, side? Okay. Now, when they're asking this type of question, they don't mean like what other information using like the reflexive property or vertical angles. That information you already know. So they're looking for something other than the reflexive property or something other than vertical angles. So like in this specific question or picture, they already give you the reflexive property. I'm going to label it S. And they give you this angle up here, A. So they're looking for one other piece of information that would make it angle, angle, side. So we already have one angle, we have one side. So that means I have to find another angle. I can use this angle down here by A, but that would make it angle, side, angle because the side would be in between the two angles. We don't want that. We want the side outside of the two angles. So that would leave the only other option here would be angle O. And angle O corresponds with angle M. So that's what I would use. Angle O is congruent to angle M. Notice I didn't use LA is congruent to AL or LA is congruent to LA because that's the reflexive property. That's something we can automatically assume and we can use that. So that's not what this question is asking for. It's asking for what other information we need. So I do have another question that you're going to answer here. What other information would you need to prove the triangles using side, side, side? Okay, so we do have the reflexive property, right? We're trying to figure out what other information do you need for it to be side, side, side? Well, if you checked off OL is congruent to or equal to LM, and if you clicked OA is congruent to MA, then you got that correct. All right, let's do another example. What other information do we need in order to prove the triangles are congruent using side, angle, side? So we do have this angle up here. They give it to us. I'm going to mark it in the other triangle too. We also have the reflexive property. We also have that reflexive property. Now they ask for side, angle, side. So we need to figure out another side to make these two triangles congruent. So we've got a side, we've got another angle. Well, the other side would have to be over here because the angle would have to be in between the two sides. Now this side, AB, corresponds to this side over here, AD. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for AB is congruent to AD or vice versa, which is that third option right here. And that would be my answer. Okay, I'm gonna one last example here. What other information do we need in order to prove the triangles are congruent using the angle, side, angle? So with this one here, we do have a side given to us. I'm going to label over here another side. And then we do also know the vertical angles. That's something that we can mark on our picture. So they're asking for, I don't know why I wrote V for vertical, sorry, but I want A for angle. But what we want is we want another angle to make it angle side angle. So we've got an angle, we've got a side, we need one other angle, and the side has to be in between it. So that leaves angle K. And angle K corresponds to this angle H right here. That would be our other angle to make it angle side angle. So I would use angle H is congruent to angle K. What if we wanted to make it angle side? If we wanted angle side, what other piece of information would we need? Well, if you said angle L and angle I, that would be correct. Angle L is congruent to angle I, that would be correct. That would make it angle with the vertical angle, and then the side with the side that they give you, or the other way. I do want to talk about one other thing here. When we're looking at angles and how they're labeled with 3 letters, it's important to know that the angle that they're really talking about is the middle letter. Here, let me clear this out so it's kind of, so when we're really talking about angles and you see these 3 letters, we really are talking about the middle letter, so where that's located. So angle L, so we would call it KLJ, or that's a way to call angle L using 3 letters. But if you think about the middle letter is the most important letter, that's the real angle that we're talking about, and the other letters on either side point to that angle, right? Angle K points to L, angle J points to L. So that's what we're really talking about. Same thing over here. HIJ, angle HIJ. We're really talking about angle I, but J points to I and H points to I. That's really important, especially this week when we're doing proofs and you have angles using 3 letters. It's important to remember what you're really looking at here, because it can be kind of confusing when you see multiple letters. Okay. One last final question. If I needed to name the vertical angles, what would I name them? What would I name them? If you picked the third option, angle HJI and angle KJL, you are correct. Okay, I hope this helps, especially this week as we're working on proofs, and next week as well. Thanks for watching.